One of the things that has basically been a big deal on the internet and on social media as of late, as it relates to gaming, is the fact that we might be getting a Goldeneye 007 port for the Xbox One sometime in the near future. And the reason why this is a big deal is because many years ago, this was supposed to happen on the Xbox 360, I believe, sometime in the late 2000s. I believe it was supposed to be remastered or something, and it never happened or took place due to licensing issues with Rare or whatever. And I honestly feel that GoldenEye 007 is definitely one of the biggest first-person shooter games of the 90s decade period. And the fact that it appeared on the N64 during the time that it did was such a big deal, because I don't think Sony was featuring too many high-profile first-person shooter games on the PS1 game system. And if they did, it wasn't as good as the N64. The games that they had quality-wise. And honestly, I feel that GoldenEye 007 was one of the main games from the 90s that kind of helped put the first-person shooter genre on the map. And this came after the GoldenEye movie was released back in late 95, I believe, and it was a huge success, and it did great numbers in the box office. I believe it generated over $356 million in box office revenue. And seeing how popular GoldenEye 007 is, and the fact that this year marks the 25th anniversary since its release back in 1997. A lot of people feel that something special should be done with GoldenEye 007. Now, based on what we know, it seems like GoldenEye 007 has been confirmed for the Xbox One, but the question is whether or not this game should be ported for Nintendo Switch sometime in the future. And the reason why I argue in favor of Nintendo Switch is because GoldenEye 007 made its first appearance on the N64. Why not, make its why not appear on Nintendo Switch during its 25th anniversary? Because I know, like, when it comes down to Nintendo games, first-person shooters are not a big deal, but I honestly feel that GoldenEye 007 would stand out on a game system where first-person shooters are not a thing, just like it did 25 years ago on the N64. Now, first-person shooters are more for people who are, I guess, Xbox users or PlayStation users or what have you, but if you look at both those game systems, you got all kinds of third-party games that are basically adult-oriented, that appeal to young adults, that would most likely overshadow GoldenEye 007. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, retro gamers, guys who grew up during that era of gaming of the late 90s, who would definitely love GoldenEye 007, and they would definitely play the potential Xbox One port of the game for nostalgia and all that. But as far as sales is concerned, Nintendo Switch is selling out like crazy. Not to the same extent as the PS5 or anything, but it looked like it might surpass the Wii console in terms of sales. And I feel like having GoldenEye 007 will expose a lot of people, both young adults and children, to a game that was considered a masterpiece during its time. It's just an idea, but I'm not sure whether or not it's going to happen. But seeing GoldenEye 007 on a Nintendo console once again would definitely be cool.